Hello, let us talk about the small game hunting at the local Coward's Gun Club, which indeed I may have said in the last thing that title has now finally has come up in this the lunch section. We've got through prep section. We're now into lunch, and indeed, small game hunting indeed is, from John's perspective, is him him hunting him hunting small game, which means women, at the local Cowards Gun Club, which I guess is the cowardly men in this world. Um, and, gun club violence, all that sort of stuff. So it's kind of on the nose. Fine. It's one of the little one-liners. Um, Actually, I would like to mention a little just technique thing, because it is starting to, like, at the beginning it was much more kind of discreet of like, okay, we're from this person's point of view, and then we're going to switch to this person's point of view. um, we're starting to get much more mixed, and I was struck by one thing um, where they'll have little blips, or they'll have like, it'll say, you know uh, Iris asks him what's he want, and then it'll switch to Major David, I think it is, the mayor guy, who says the skinny waitress stands there staring at him. It's like we shift points of view um, throughout within from one paragraph to the next paragraph without those little gaps, and it's done really well. I really enjoy that. I think that is done well. There's no confusion, but it's good. um, so there's that. There's one scene which is, I find, I don't know if it is if it's tough or if it's just thuddingly obvious. Let me describe it. It's Iris, who, has been getting fucked over by guys and then going back to the guys and then getting fucked over by a guy and then going back to the guys, and kind of looking for approval and things like that. And then she recounts from her childhood of this cat, this stray cat that was desperate for love, and it went up to these group of boys, and desperate for love, and they would cuddle them, and then the fuckers would throw it into the cove, into the icy cold water, and the cat would drag itself back out and still be desperate for love and cuddle with the boys, and they'd cuddle it and coo it, and then they'd throw it back into the water again, and it would drag itself out. And it started to, like, oh, no, I'm starting to understand. I don't want you. I don't want you. But they would pull back in and coo at it and pet it and stuff like that and throw it back in the water. And they kept on doing it until the fucking cat drowned. And it's like a part of me is like, oh, fuck, we're just gonna really pound it through how brutal and awful um, the boys that turn into the men are. And this is, of course, Iris is the cat. And then I think after this, Iris says, well, I was the cat. She is the cat. And it's like, well, fuck's sake, of course I know you are the cat. I knew it the first, as you said it already. I don't know. Um, it's one of those difficult to read, tough things of, like, it's a cat. And a part of it is, maybe it's like, it's a cat. A cat doesn't have the stuff that a human being has. Like, doesn't have the capacity to make choices the way a human being does. So in some ways, it's unfair to the character of Iris. It's like, she does have a choice. Equating her with a cat, with this dumb beast that's getting horribly mistreated by these little sadistic little fucking boys, it kind of angers me, both for the cat. I don't want to hear about the cat getting horribly abused and drowned. I just want to fucking string up those little fictional little boys. And also piss off for Iris, because she's getting equated with a cat. And I mean, I guess it's the Iris, the character, is doing the equating herself, but there's Megan Gale Coles behind that, which I guess, yeah, yeah, it's one of those things that that bothers me, and I guess kudos to the author because it did bother me, and I guess I should think about that. But it's like Iris isn't a cat, and it's unfair to the author to equate her with a cat, or I don't know. Or I don't know, maybe it just says something about Iris and how she feels about herself that she does equate herself with this cat. I guess so. Yeah, yeah. So we do have this character we've got introduced in this section of Major. Is it Major David? I think it's Major David, who is the kind of the mayor of I think it's St. John's, mayor of St. John's, and how he views the characters. Iris, Olive, Ben, John, all the how he views them, and he's like this older generation, and of course, yes, he's horribly sexist, and but there's a part of me that's like, oh fuck, he kind of like he has as much kind of patience for them as some points I do in this. Like I almost sympathize with him. I almost kind of like go, I can see what you mean. Like part of my frustrations with this crowd of real complete fuck ups is that just like, you're whole alcoholic, abusive assholes who are fucking each other and just abusing each other. And I just want to, smack you around. It's like, I can sort of see him doing that. There's also stuff with like, I guess he's got like an HR woman at his work who is constantly condescending to him and like saying like basically because you are a white male you don't know anything, you don't deserve anything, you're super entitled, it's sort of that, you know and his frustrations and him wanting to troll the HR woman. It's like, oh, this is the kind of person who would love someone like Donald Trump, who basically has made his career on anyone left of center. Definitely feminist, definitely you know anyone with any kind of social conscience is he's going to kind of he's gonna he's gonna love someone like Trump, who's made his profession on pissing off and stymieing those people, which is terrible. um, but yeah, it's like he's also got to be awful. He can't be. He's got to be corrupt and shitty as well, because we can't like any of the characters in this book. For any reason, they can't be any kind of little bit of bemused, kind of like, oh yes, they're all caught up in their thing, but they'll probably grow out of it. But I don't know if they will grow out of it, because Major David definitely is not going to grow out of it. Yeah, I think that's all I got. Damien, the gay waiter, seems to be a ticking time bomb of something. He's going to explode. He's focusing in on Calv and his really fucking rapist friend Roger, who apparently have ruined his life. So God knows what's going to happen there. There's the whole thing of none of these people should ever be in the service industry. They all horribly resent their customers. They're all like, sir is basically a fuck you. It's just like, oh God damn it. It's like, anyone can be just, I don't know. It's a long book. Small Game Hunting at the Local Cwrds Club is a long book. And I think I'm coming up on hopefully, I'm not halfway through it yet. So I am a bit wading through it at this point, but I'm trying to kind of pep myself along, because I think there's things that are worth it, even though I think it's definitely a morose lit can lit book of kind of hicklit misery porn in Newfoundland. But there seems to be a thing of the artist kind of insisting that this is going to be somehow, if not redemptive, but some way of trying to blow it all up. I don't know. We shall see. We'll see where I am at the end of it. I'm definitely struggling. In a productive way. I mean, I went out and bought the ebook because I was so frustrated with the library book. So I'm not sad that I'm giving her my money, giving the author my money. However, tiny fragment of my purchase gets to her. Can't say at this point. I'm like, there's some authors you read and you go, I read one of your books. Okay, that was all I needed. At this point, she's definitely gives me the feel of someone who I only need to read one of her books. She is apparently heavily into the theater, looking at her author bio, which would make sense because this very much has I've set all these characters up and we're having little monologues of each one of them. Though some of the monologues are kind of just interestingly kind of weaving together. Being a play-ish that way. And you have the Hazel as the main, you could see this being turned into a play where the Hazel is the main spot where we're going to do all of our action. So that's what I have at the moment. I'll stop there. Good night.